Have you ever made a big decision for your autistic child, like where they'll go to school or what kind of therapy they'll have, and almost immediately thought, wait, did I just ruin everything? I used to live in that spiral when my son was younger, and it burned so much mental energy. And that's exactly what happened to a mom I spoke with recently after she switched her son's school. The first few days of school were really rough, and she immediately started second-guessing herself. In this video, I'll share that story and why second-guessing doesn't always mean, and doesn't even usually mean, that you made a mistake. I'll also talk about 4 ways to quiet that doubt so you can move forward with more confidence. I'm Andrea Pollack. I'm a parenting educator and coach. I'm also the parent of an autistic young adult, so I've been where you are. So this mom I mentioned, she had thought very carefully about her son's needs, and she chose a new school based on those needs. She did her research, she toured the classrooms, she asked the hard questions, but after a couple of rough days, panic set in. She told me, maybe I never should have moved him. Maybe the old school was good enough. What if I can't fix this? If your mind has ever spiraled like that, you know how heavy it feels. If you've ever second-guessed a big decision, I'd love if you could drop a quick, yep, me too, in the comments. It really helps us to know we're not carrying this alone. First, let's talk about why doubt shows up and how to know if it's a mistake. So here's the thing. Second-guessing yourself doesn't always mean you chose wrong. Here's why doubt shows up. Your brain is wired for protection. When something feels high stakes, your brain automatically jumps in with, better double check this. What if it was the wrong move? That's a normal protective instinct, but it confuses discomfort with danger. Transitions always bring turbulence. And when you change schools, routines, or supports, things feel messy before they get better. Doubt loves to show up in that messy middle before the benefits are visible. The louder the doubt, the deeper the love. Doubt screams loudest when the decision matters most. That's a reflection of how deeply you care, not proof you made a mistake. So try to think of it this way. Doubt is a spotlight, not a verdict. It says pay attention, but it doesn't say you blew it. So how do you tell if it's just doubt or if you actually need to rethink the decision? First, check your why. Was the choice rooted in your child's needs and long-term goals? And if yes, the foundation is strong. First, check your why. Was the choice rooted in your child's needs and long-term goals? If yes, the foundation is strong. Second, check the timeline. Real mistakes usually reveal themselves over weeks or months. Doubt usually pops up right away. Third, check the type of struggle. Situational struggles might be transition pains. Systemic struggles means the environment truly can't meet your child's needs. Check whose discomfort it is. Is it your child adapting but stretching? In which case, you will see those bumps. Or is it their nervous system completely collapsing repeatedly? One is growth, the other may need rethinking. But you can trust yourself to know the difference. You don't need to call every bump a mistake. Sometimes a bump is just a bump. So here's what that mom and I worked through. First, don't undermine a decision with too little data. We talked about how 2 rough days doesn't equal failure. Transitions always bring bumps. And here's another big one. Just because an old behavior shows up again, it doesn't mean your child is regressing. This is one of the scariest triggers for parents. Maybe your child hasn't had separation anxiety in years, or had a meltdown at drop-off or pickup in years and suddenly is back, or bedtime battles return when you thought you were past them. It can feel almost PTSD-like you see that old behavior and your body screams, oh no, we're right back where we were. But resurfacing behaviors in a transition aren't regression. They're stress signals. Your child is reaching for an old coping strategy because they're under pressure, not because the progress is lost. A resurfaced behavior is a stress signal, not a reset button. And if you can see it that way, you can stay calmer and help your child through it without layering your fear on top of their struggle. Number 2, preparation is not perfection. This mom worried that she really hadn't prepared her son enough for the transition that he faced. And the truth is, you can't script out every moment of every school day. Preparation softens the landing, but the bumps are still inevitable. Third, break big problems into smaller ones. And this is a good rule of thumb for solving any problem, right? Sometimes when the problem is all bundled up into one big ball, it's very hard to see solutions. So break it down. So if there's a problem at drop-off, solve the problem at drop-off. If there's a problem at pickup, solve the problem at pickup. If whatever the issues are, break them down and find the solutions to the specific problems. At first, it all felt insurmountable, but when she was able to break it down, set up quick check-ins and shared observations with the teachers in the school, and they were able to add supports, suddenly the entire big problem became a series of manageable steps. Fourth, notice the quiet wins. She almost missed a big one. After school, her son got upset, but it didn't turn into a full-blown meltdown. She calmly helped him re-regulate, which happened much more quickly than it ever did in the past. And that's real growth. That's progress. That's parenting confidence in action. And these quiet wins, they often get overshadowed by doubt, but they are proof that you're already leading your child so well. Second-guessing yourself doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means you're human and you care. Most decisions take time to reveal their impact. Your job isn't to feel certain every second. It's to make the best decisions you can and then assess along the way. But going in, give yourself credit for all of the assessment you did to make the decision in the first place. That'll allow you the certainty that will enable you to zoom out to see the bigger picture. If second-guessing yourself is getting kind of loud lately, lean into all the effort you put into making the decision in the first place and trust yourself that you'll know if a mistake was made and that you'll also know how to fix it, how to change course. If you'd like more personalized support for your transitions, for your decision-making, big decisions, or even the everyday tough calls, that's exactly what I help parents with in my coaching program. The link is below if you'd like to find out more and consider joining us. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, I hope you'll consider giving it a like, subscribing if you haven't already, and perhaps share it with another family who might benefit from this kind of content. I'll see you in the next one.